I said on this trip, I love seeing all the culture, I love seeing all the beauty, but my favorite thing of all is talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Because when we have that local connection, when we can have that communication, I can understand Xinjiang so much more than any Western story can tell me. And once you come here to Xinjiang, everything will change. Not only will you start believing what the West says about Xinjiang, but you also start believing what the West says about everywhere else in the world, because you'll see that the West can never take the true beauty away from Xinjiang.
Hi everyone, this is in Xinjiang, telling you the most truth about Xinjiang from expert eyes. Today, we are also at the Xinjiang International Grand Bazaar. Same place with totally different stories. Joining us today is Mimi from Australia. Could you introduce yourself to our audience?
Of course. Hi everyone, I'm Mimi. I am Australian, but I'm ethnically Chinese. And I am in Xinjiang, and I'm so happy to be here.
May I ask, this is your first time in Xinjiang, right?
My first time, yes.
Then, so far, how do you feel? Which place impressed you the most?
Okay, I feel extremely happy and grateful that I can spend time in Xinjiang. Every place has been so different, so it's super hard for me to pick a favorite. Alatai was so beautiful, Ili was so cultural, and Urumqi is like a city, but it's like the most vibrant city I've ever been. But I would say my favorite so far has been maybe Alatai.
Then, did you feel the vitality of the young generation? Did you feel the vitality of the city?
Yes. I think, again, something that is so beautiful is how the young people here are committed to making sure the world can see how amazing Xinjiang is and to continue the culture. You know, I sometimes I get a bit worried that culture will not live on forever, but I actually think in places like Xinjiang and all over China, you can see young people really wanting to continue these like intangible cultural heritage or music or dancing.
Is Xinjiang the same as what you have imagined before?
It's so much better.
Better?
Yeah. I always, I watch a lot of videos about Xinjiang, like everyday people who, not only Chinese people, but foreigners who come to Xinjiang and they take like vlogs.
Yeah.
And so when I watch these vlogs, I feel really like, oh my gosh, it looks so fun. And people are so friendly, so kind. The food looks so good. The dancing is so much fun. Like people get invited to other people's homes and like dance all day. Like that energy I've always wanted to feel. And then when I come here, oh my God, it's like 10 times better than what I imagined. Like feeling that energy is just such a different experience. And I'm serious, it makes me want to move here. One of the most memorable stories for me was when we went to this cultural village, right? It was where so many different ethnic groups live together in harmony and peace. And I think it really moved me because when I went to this village, I saw these women, especially Kazakh women, Uyghur women, Hui women, and Han women who were all blended together and who were kind of expanding as a community, as a family, and they were all wearing different outfits. And they threw candy at us and they welcomed us all in with such, you know, friendly, high, warm energy. But especially the woman who was giving the tour. She just wanted to share everything about the family, about the grandfather who started the village. And then we got to meet his granddaughter too, who was so proud to be from that place. And she was a mixture of 3 different ethnic groups, right? And so I think that was a beautiful representative of the cultural diversity that you can find in China.
How do you know Xinjiang? From the Western media or?
I have an uncle who has come to Xinjiang 7 times. So I've always heard how amazing it is, how beautiful it is. But then I heard from Western media something different. And it really like shocked me because at first, you know, when you hear that kind of thing, you get really scared and you get really worried. But then I looked deeper into it and I asked people who actually live in China, why it's a lie.
Then why does like Western society have such deep misunderstandings about China and Xinjiang?
Well, I think that it's not accidental. I think it's on purpose.
Yeah.
I think there are certain people in power,
Yeah.
especially in America, who want to deliberately create chaos within
Yeah.
China
Yeah.
and to create separation within China. And so I think that level of misunderstanding is a projection from the West. You know, for example, in Western media, they accuse Xinjiang of labor exploitation. Have you heard of that? In the cotton.
Oh, you mean the forced labor?
Yes, forced labor for
Yeah,
cotton.
yeah.
And for me, I was thinking, okay, that's a very serious accusation
Yeah.
to put onto a country. And then I wondered, where have I heard that before?
Yeah.
Where exploitation, forced labor in cotton fields specifically has happened. And it happened in the United States, you know, that's what they did to Black American people. So then I started piecing it all together and I realized, oh, they're just accusing Xinjiang of doing what they did to their own people,
Yeah.
but they don't want to admit that. They want to point the finger at somebody else. And so I think what's really important right now is just to bridge the understanding. I always say the best thing to do when you want to see a place and understand a place is to go there. So I want to show people in the West the truth. That's it. Just want to show them what I've been able to experience and see in Xinjiang.
Yeah, that is the significance of presenting the real Xinjiang to the
Yeah,
world.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because Xinjiang, like I said, is the most vibrant,
Yeah.
beautiful place I've ever been. And it's a shame that the Western media is making other Americans never want to come to China at all because they're scared. And for me, I'm like, what are you scared of? This is the best place ever. Like, you're missing out.
If you were to say something to the people who never been to Xinjiang and only get information about China and Xinjiang from Western media, what would it be?
Okay, I want people to use their brains a little bit because the Western media has lied not only about Xinjiang, but about many other things, you know?
yeah.
And I hope people can really start to see that the Western media is not a trustworthy source of information anymore.
Yeah.
And that you need to start looking at the real stories and the real people and to actually communicate with the local people from that place.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I said on this trip, I love seeing all the culture, I love seeing all the beauty, but my favorite thing of all is talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Because when we have that local connection, when we can have that communication, I can understand Xinjiang so much more than any Western story can tell me. And once you come here to Xinjiang, everything will change. Not only will you stop believing what the West says about Xinjiang, but you also start believing what the West says about everywhere else in the world. Because you'll see that the West can never take the true beauty away from Xinjiang.